Before the start of the review, this video contains tons of spoilers. For other film and TV series reviews, don't forget to be a subscriber. The Rings of Power viewers and fans, greetings to all of you. Before I started watching episode 4, I was excited because I knew that I would have the opportunity to get to know the character of Adar more closely. For those who think that we have watched 4 episodes but the story is still moving very slowly, I should first say that the series will last a total of 50 hours. If we say that there will be an average of 50 episodes, this part is only 8% of the whole work. In a long-term series, I think the series still hasn't found its rhythm because they have to introduce the characters we will watch in the future and put the story flow on a certain basis. Without further ado, let's move on to the review and criticism part. The title of the episode is The Great Wave. From the first scene, you might think that they showed why the show's name is The Great Wave, but that's not entirely true. I think this name was given as a reference to the big events that will happen in the following episodes or seasons. I think the decisions to be taken and the steps taken in this episode, just like the butterfly effect, it is a beginning that will enable the realization of what will happen later. I mentioned in the previous review that I loved the architecture of the city of In Menor, and now I have to say that we should praise the flooding and destruction of In Menor. The effects are great if you can say that the waves are pounding the city. Take a good look at the Pharazôn character. I'm sure in the next episodes he will teach us how politics is done and how it is an effective weapon to gain power. But wait a minute, what is that? That symbol is so similar. I hope it's not related. Anyway, but wait a minute. In episode 3 I saw this guy in the Great Hall next to Pharazôn. Wasn't it a coincidence that he and Halbrand were fighting? In episode 4, this time he's shouting in the street to rile up the people. Pharazôn shows up and continues to win hearts and minds. I'm sure this man's purse is full of Pharazôn's money, but I can't prove it. We finally see Adar, the fallen elves. Probably an ancient elf. He was about to cry because he had to kill the wounded orc. In the conversation between Arondir and Adar, Adar says, "I'm not God. At least not yet." He believes in the need to recreate the world. The actor Joseph Mawle portrayed the character wonderfully. I forgot the name of the actor and I wanted to search on the internet and I found out that his name is Orin. I think Adar is actually Orin. I don't know. The series continues to keep its mystery as if I want to theorize. Theo's friend was wounded by the mysterious sword in the first episode. In this episode, we see that he got sick. I started to believe that the sword was the Morgul knife, but I don't know who the Witch King would be. Theo's friend could possibly turn into a wraith. Galadriel is taking advice from Halbrand. Galadriel. You know, Galadriel, who has lived an average of 3,000 years. The screenwriters want to say that the fates of these two characters intersect and they help each other, but this way doesn't feel right to me. I was happy to see the sword called Narsil. If you are wondering what this sword is, let me tell you. This sword is the sword that cut off Sauron's hand and took the Ring of Power from him. In the Palantir scene, the queen tells Galadriel what the Palantir is. Again, this woman, Galadriel, is not a young person, she is an ancient elf. Again, the screenwriters wrote those lines for us to learn. But I think the realism of the scene would have increased if we listened to the Palantir completely from Galadriel's mouth. They conveyed the flooding of Numenor to the audience as a prophecy. This chain of prophecy continues with the arrival of Galadriel. If Halbrand is Sauron in disguise, I think this prophecy started not because of Galadriel, but because Sauron came to Numenor, but those who know the prophecy are not yet aware of this. This is just a theory. Please don't be angry with me if what I say is wrong. The scene between Theo and the innkeeper answered many of our questions. They told us that the falling star was an omen and that the return of their master Sauron was imminent. We learned that the sword was produced by Sauron himself. There is something I don't understand. Even the innkeeper knows that the omen of Sauron's return is the starfall, but no elves, orcs, or humans even think to go to this falling star. They don't care about this event. That's it for episode 4. Take care and stay active until we show up again.